You wrote a perfect authorization logic. It passed code review. It passed QA. It even passed your security checklist. But it is still insecure because authorization isn't just what you check, it's when you check it. Hi, I'm Sama. Let's get into it. Let's say at T1, user is admin. At T2, this admin role is revoked. And at T3, your export job is executed. Should the export succeed? Most people would say no, but that's not the case. Your system would say yes because it only checked at T1. This is what we call time of check versus time of use, often known as TOCTOU. And it's one of the most common authorization mistakes in distributed systems. Let's get into it. Instead of drawing everything, each and every block as I go, as I explain, as I speak, I'm going to paste everything so that it's easier, it's shorter, and it's concise. So let's go. Here it is. So what's the typical flow if you were to design a system where you want your user to export? The user will consume your API. Then it will check if you are able to export this, if you have the permission. And then this API will pass this request to a queue. From queue, it will pass to the worker. And then once the report is generated, all the logs that have been generated will be saved into the DB or SP, whatever we have designed. Where do we check the authorization? If your answer is middleware, that's good. Well, that's even correct as well. But what happens after we enqueue? The worker is going to execute the task after maybe 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 1 hour. Our system would assume that nothing changes. But in fact, in production, anytime, anything can be changed. If I were to ask you, what could be changed in this scenario? Some things which I can think of is the user is removed from the organization. The plan is revoked, is downgraded, his multi-factor authentication is revoked, or account got suspended, everything. Does your worker know any of this? No, it just trusts. So what's the fix? Did you say middleware? I think that's not the fix. Then what? Should be cashless? No. Should we use JWT? No. JWT will make it worse. How? Let's see. So let's say we have this JWT token. We love stateless auth, right? We issue the JWT. The validity is 1 hour. At T1, the user is admin. But at T2, the user is revoked. But JWT still says admin until it expires. The expiration date is 1 hour. T1, it checks for admin. At T2 is expired. But JWT token is still valid. Your system trusts the token, but the token is now stale. Authorization frozen time. So as you can see, we have control plane and we have data plane. The authorization is being handled in the control plane, but the execution is in the data plane. You see the gap? That's where the security bugs live. So what are the fixes? In my opinion, there are 3 serious solutions which we can implement. And these are not hacks, these are actual architectural decisions. The number one would be you don't trust past decisions, you reevaluate at execution time. What are the advantages for this is one is strong correctness, but it has also some disadvantages as well. It requires identity propagation. It's hard across microservices and latency issue as well. Can your system actually do this cleanly? The answer is, I think, yes. How? Authorization and execution must live in the same transactional bound. If role changes mid-flight, transaction fails. This is ideal, but only works if you have no queues, no async worker, same DB boundary. Most SaaS systems are not built like this. Is there a better solution? I think yes. And what it is? Instead of checking the role in the middleware or at the later stages in the worker, you mint a capability. So in the decision logic, when the user requests or user consumes your API, you mint a capability. The capability would say this user can export this report which is being requested until this time. Your worker will then validate this signature. By the way, this is how AWS pre-signed URLs, Stripe key, even signed S3 uploads works. By doing that, authorization becomes immutable claim. These claims are short-lived, scoped, and explicit. So in video 1, we learned roles are insufficient. In video 2, we learned never trust your friend. In video 3, we learned same role does not mean same access. Now what we learned here is even correct policies can fail if we moves in time. Authorization isn't just if the role is admin, you just allow it. It's is this action is allowed at the time of its execution. Auth is not a condition, auth is a guarantee. If your system can't guarantee permission at the execution time, you don't have authorization, you have auth. That's all from this video. Hope you liked it. See you guys in the next one.